Hello Internet, and welcome to Food Theory. Manga theory? Not entirely sure. It's kind of a gray area, honestly. And no, I am not MadPet or Santi. I am Moonlight150 from A Slice of Gaming. But this topic feels so much like something that Team Theorists would do, so I couldn't resist doing their intro. Last week, I did a review of the latest 100 Girlfriends manga, chapter 176. During my review, I kind of skimmed over all the food that Kurumi and Rentaro ate on their date to DEEZNEY, and with no new chapter this week, this felt like a good time to do something a little different. Because I thought it would be fun to tally all the food and see how much this date cost the two of them all together. This fun idea came to me from the members of the 100 Girlfriends Discord, so thank you for that. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Before we actually get to the food, we have some other things to tally up. That being just getting into the park itself. For that, we need tickets. This should hopefully be one of our easiest calculations, confirming that both Rentaro and Kurumi are under the age of 17. They fall under the junior pricing, for which is 12 to 17. Currently at the recording of this video, a price for a junior ticket to Disneyland Tokyo is 6,600 yen each, or roughly $42.42 US dollars. So 13,200 yen or $84.90 for two tickets. And I say roughly because keep in mind, dollars to yen isn't 1-to-1. So throughout this video I'll be keeping track of both the yen amount and the dollar amount, but with an asterisk in the comparison. These aren't going to be true comparisons because of how vastly the different economy is between the United States and Japan, and the value of their currency. Getting out of the economics class for a minute, with our tickets purchased we can now get back into the park. So let's go down the list of everything shown to be eaten by Rentaro and Kurumi. Before the montage they start off with some ice cream at the entrance. It's a bit hard to make out, but it seems like Rentaro has a cup of ice cream with 1 to 2 scoops, and Kurumi has a cup with 3 to 4. I say this range because it's possible there may be another scoop within the cup itself, instead of this bottom one just being really big. But let's go with the more fun option and say that they have multiple scoops just to add more to the total. So that's 2 scoops for Rentaro and 4 for Kurumi to start off with. Moving on to the actual montage itself, we see Kurumi gorge on a churro, a waffle, an ice cream sandwich, an ice cream bar, little green alien mochi, a smoked turkey leg, a hot dog, a promo drink, bread, a slice of pizza, curry, ramen, and a hamburger, and 13 variants of popcorn. After the montage, in my original review of the chapter, I called this a churro, and upon further inspection, this looks to be actually a spring roll, which is actually sold at Disneyland Tokyo, so we'll be adding spring roll to that list as well. But that's not all for our shopping list. They eventually forgo the food in the chapter and ride some rides and purchase some headbands and get a photo in front of the castle. Now with all the tickets, the food, 2 headbands, we can start adding up. On the Disneyland Tokyo website, we can find the prices of various foods. We have the churro for 450 yen or $2.88, the waffle at 800 yen or $5.12, an ice cream sandwich at 350 yen or $2.24, the little green alien mochi at 400 yen or $2.56, the smoked turkey leg at 900 yen or $5.76, curry at 900 yen or $5.76, ramen at 1,640 yen or $10.49, the ice cream bar at 350 yen or $2.23, and a cup of popcorn is 400 yen each, equaling to 5,200 yen or $33.27 all on popcorn. And lastly, the spring roll at 380 yen or $2.43. You'll notice I have not mentioned the triple scoops of ice cream, the hot dog, the promo drink, the bread, the pizza, and the hamburger yet. And well, that's because I could not find them on the Disneyland Tokyo website. So, what's a guy to do in this situation? Do we just end the video here and call this a failure? We can't just look up any pizza or hamburger and call it a day. This is Disneyland food. It being overpriced and mediocre in taste makes it Disneyland food. There's got to be another way. So, like any sane person, my only conclusion is to go directly to the source and investigate it myself. So here I am in Anaheim, California at the Disneyland Resort to look for those foods that we could not find online. That being the triple scoop ice cream, the promo drink, the hot dog, the burger, the bread, and one more thing I'm not remembering right now, but we'll put it in post. So I'm Moonlight150, so join me as we go look for the price for these so we can find everything and add up everything that Kurumi ate in the latest chapter. Join me, won't you? Don't worry, I won't make you listen to loud crowded Disneyland audio the entire time. Back to voiceover. But since we will now be investigating United States dollar priced foods, I think it's time I give a better example of what I meant by the price comparisons will be slightly skewed. Let's call this the churro index. At Disneyland Tokyo, a churro costs 450 yen, or a direct translation of that currency to US dollars would be $2.88. Whereas if you were to buy a churro at the Disneyland Resort, it would cost you $5.50, or translating that to 863 yen. And this is why there will be a huge asterisk. The massive currency exchange difference between the differing economies make this a hard thing to put an exact number on, especially now that we will be mixing prices of both the exact Japanese prices and some American ones. So know at the end when we tally everything up, it's only a rough estimate. Your mileage may vary. So my journey began with a single step down Main Street, USA, the only place I could think of that served ice cream in cups, that being the Gibson Girl. Though on our first stop we ran into a bit of a snag. They only serve up to 2 scoops of ice cream, making Kurumi's 3 to 4 possible scoops an impossibility. But at least we can tally up Rentero's 2 scoops being $6.79 or 1,065 yen. Time to bust out those math equations from school you said you probably would never use in real life. It's time to predict some ice cream prices. Thankfully, this is pretty straightforward. 1 scoop costs $5.79, and 2 scoops cost $6.79. Following that pattern, I think we can safely say if they did offer 3 to 4 scoops, a 4 scoop of ice cream from the Gibson Girl would cost $8.79. And with that added to our tally, we are off to the next location. Right next to the Gibson Girl on Main Street is what is called the Refreshment Corner, one of the few places to get a hot dog in the park that isn't a corn dog. Here you can get all kinds of hot dogs, including my favorite, the one with mac and cheese on it. But we are only interested in the regular old beef hot dog today, with only possibly ketchup or mustard on it. Kind of hard to tell in a black and white manga. But here, you can get a regular beef hot dog that comes out to $8.79 or 1,379 yen. Our next stop takes us to Pizza Planet over in Tomorrowland, the only place in the park to get a slice of pizza. Though if we were to look closely at the pizza slice in the panel, you can see various veggies on it, making this possibly a supreme pizza slice. But unfortunately that is not offered here, only cheese and pepperoni. So we're just gonna have to settle. Though a supreme slice of pizza could definitely be more expensive, but a slice of pepperoni here costs $8.99 or 1,410 yen. They do mention something called a supernova pizza slice, which varies by the day, and one of those may be a supreme style pizza, but given the fact that it doesn't have a separate price on the menu, let's just assume it's the same price as the pepperoni. And while it is expensive for a slice of pizza, I will say it's a decently sized slice and tastes decent. But at the end of the day, it's still just a slice of pizza. Like I said, Disneyland food, overpriced and moderate taste. We head on over to the Hungry Bear restaurant over in Adventureland to grab a burger. Now, burgers can be found throughout the park, but this was most likely the simplest burger. Though upon investigation, they don't offer a hamburger, just cheeseburgers, with their classic cheeseburger coming in at the price of $13.29 or 2,085 yen. Here we can also check off our promo drink. They don't get too specific with the promo drink in the manga, so we settle on any kind of specialty drink a restaurant may offer. Here at Hungry Bear, they have this watermelon lemonade with lemon flavored popping spheres that come out to $6.99 or 1,097 yen. Knocking out 2 items in one location. Not too many left to go. Before the search for the final bit of our quest, I stopped into the Mad Hatter in Fantasyland to check in on the prices for headbands since I've never owned one myself. We found these simple mouse ear headbands with nothing fancy on them, just like how they were in the manga, thinking maybe these basic ones were a bit cheaper, but no, they all seem to be the same price. Though they do have the couple special where if you buy 2, they are $30 each instead of $34.95. So totaling the 2 of them together would be $60 for their 2 headbands, or 9,416 yen. On to the last leg of this search, the bread. I, for the life of me, could not find just a big loaf of bread like how the picture shows it. There's various bread products you can purchase throughout the park, but nothing like the giant character-shaped bread that Kurumi ate. I searched high and low, and even asked some of the locals for help.
Do you guys know where I can find some bread?
They weren't very useful. Though after searching for a while, I hit a lucky break. I made friends with a giant marshmallow-shaped robot who pointed me in the right direction. Beyond the land of Disney, and farther past the land of dancing living cars, I finally found what I was looking for. A new town named San Francisco had recently opened, and in the midst of this American and Japanese hybrid town was a bread stand that sold giant loaves of bread that looked like our chubby friend as well as the mascot of this whole land. And this mighty loaf costs a whole $10.99 or 1,724 yen.
We finally got everything that was on the list, so now we can tally everything up and see just how much they spent on their trip to Disneyland. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys on the next video.
Yeah, not so fast there, live action Moonlight with your churro. We still need to tally everything up. So let's recap everything. First, the park tickets. For 2 juniors comes out to 13,200 yen, or $84.90. All the food prices that I listed off earlier from the Disneyland Tokyo website that I was able to find, then the foods we went to Disneyland in California to find the prices of. I'll just put them all on screen right now since I'm sure you don't want to listen to me list off a bunch of numbers again. Then top that off with the 2 headbands they purchased coming out to $60 or 9,416 yen. Adding that all up together we get 44,125 yen, which translates to $281.15, which is honestly on the low side, especially given Disney prices. But wait, you're probably thinking that I forgot something. The fact that Rentaro also ate on this journey too, as we saw from him holding a spring roll, and the fact that he wore that suit to help him burn calories. It's safe to assume that he also ate everything that Kurumi did too. So we need to double this to account for everything that he ate, only minus the headbands and tickets because I already accounted for 2 in my original pricing. So, taking out the 9,416 yen for the headbands and the 13,200 for the tickets, we are left with 21,509 yen. Then we need to double that to 43,018 yen. Then add back in the 9,416 for the headbands and the 13,200 for the tickets, getting us to the real total of 65,634 yen, which translates to about $418.20. That sounds a bit more in the range for a simple day to Disney for 2. I didn't include the cost of parking since they most likely took public transport, so throw in a little bit more for a bus or subway fare. Now, like I said before, these prices are only estimates since we are mixing Japanese and American pricing, and if we went off the American pricing alone, that number would be much higher, and prices fluctuate all the time, and the currency between the 2 countries especially does. But now we have a rough guess on how expensive this date was. Definitely seems a bit steep for some kids in school. Let's hope Hahari covered for them. I bet she did. Man, those travel websites weren't kidding when they said Americans should be traveling to Japan right now because of the currency rate exchange. Your dollar will get you pretty far right now. I hope you'll enjoy this fun little idea, and if there are other theories or calculations from the 100 Girlfriends manga you would like me to explore, let me know in the comments below. I may just do another one of these when the series goes on break yet again. So, like Live Action Moonlight said, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more 100 Girlfriends content. See you all on the next video.